Would some of the experts tell me what in the country, particular altitude of 14,000 feet? Ordinary temperatures, obviously not. So is it possible at all technically, or do you think it's technically not possible at all? Transplantation and asked me for my ideas and where we could have it. I had no second thoughts at all. For 3 reasons I suggested Chennai as the first place and 2 Appolo hospitals. And why did I do that? Because Tamil Nadu, as all of you know, for the last several years have been holding the first position in the country regarding transplants. More than that, I am a little emotionally involved because the very first multiple organ transplant in India, in South Asia for that matter, took place on December the 25th, 1995 at the Appolo main hospital. Facilitated, I was in active neurosurgical practice those days, and one of my patients persuaded her to allow her husband's organs to be removed. This was on December 25th, 1995. In 1994, the Human Organ Transplant Bill was passed, and I was very young then, so I wrote a provocative article in Neurology India saying, viewing the critically ill head injury patient as a potential organ donor. Unfortunately, this article created such a ruckus. I was literally ostracized from the neurosurgical community. Neurosurgeons at that time, 1995, felt that we should not take proactive measures. They felt it would be a conflict of interest. They felt that, head injury, and in fact it actually happened to me. The first 20, 30 transplants which took place in Chennai were all brain death, which I had certified. I was very proactive about it. So then it said that if you want an organ donor, admit a head injury patient under Dr. Ganapathy, and that's the best way to get an organ donation. So neurosurgeons were very reluctant. They felt that they would get they would be condemned as if they were organ procurers rather than actually treating the patient. So fascinating to see the tremendous changes taking place thanks to a new entity called transplant coordinators. Now we have the Institute of Transplant, etc. So obviously this conference had to be held only here. And next couple of years we will see that Tamil Nadu will continue to be the first and hope to show its leadership in deploying drones in medical care. So I think once again, may I welcome every one of you here. Sir, there are engineers, scientists, medical doctors and transplant coordinators. We have a wide variety of people here, and of course I see the media here. The media is the most important to create the since I can remember. Thank you once again.
Topic of organ transport, telemedicine and generally healthcare. I must highlight quickly that this is the first of the 3 seminars which we are planned in the coming 2 years. So this is not just one time off. So we are likely to meet on the similar topic or the same topic a couple of times more in the coming couple of years. And apart from deliberating on the advances in telemedicine, which is of course a very unique topic of relevance to hospitals, as a major and integral part of the healthcare systems in India and in global scenario as well. This workshop focuses on 2 major themes of medical grounds, namely the vehicle itself, the heavy payload, long range, which I have sort of highlighted in this workshop a couple of times more. And out of this, it's slightly out of context. This in fact is a curtain raiser because we have in the month of March an Indo-US workshop on this very same topic, which is going to be in the Institute of Science, the Aeronautical Society of India. So this, whatever we discuss here, will be a curtain raiser. And I'll take one more minute just to say, since Dr. Pratap is also here, we just went from the organ containers to, we discussed this a little while ago, the possibility of bioprinting and the technology, which will be a futuristic requirement for all healthcare systems and hospitals, and as a matter of fact, a matter of pride for the technologists and the doctors community here. I once again thank you very much, and I hope this.
I request Dr. Pratap to release the.
So first of all, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here in India for the first time in my life. And I can tell you that I'm overwhelmed. I can say, from the bottom of my heart, I think that you should be very proud of India. India is a country in transformation, and it is, I can see very easily that it's going to the right path. And is very health available. So we used to say that our tagline, our philosophy is space without borders. So to make available to many countries that are not somehow engaged in the space area. Talking about drones and healthcare, I can, as I mentioned, space engineering and the space environment. We are just talking about how to fly a drone in a very cold environment. I can see one day a bit more about that during my presentation this afternoon. A memorandum of understanding between Innova Space and Appolo hospitals. The idea is to engage these two entities in joint projects that will advance telehealth and space science, and hopefully the combination of these two areas. I'm very happy to be here to do that.
You doctors, engineers, and people interested in telemedicine and the space. And not just the space of science and telemedicine, but the fact that telemedicine is going to enhance space by enabling medicine in space. So it's a tremendous time in the world where so much is evolving, so many things are changing, and at the very same time the responsibility of healthcare is becoming more and more significant. Dr. Ganapathy has asked me to give a presentation, with slides. Shall we stick to that plan, Dr. Ganapathy, or just a few comments? How are you based on time? I'll decide that.
மக்கள் குரல் நடுநிலை மாலை நாளிதழ் உலக மக்களின் ஒருமித்த குரல் மக்கள் குரல் அரசியல் ஆன்மீகம் அறிவியல் கல்வி மருத்துவம் பொருளாதாரம் சினிமா விளையாட்டு உள்ளிட்ட உலக செய்திகளை ஒருங்கிணைந்து தரும் ஒரே மாலை நடுநிலை நாளிதழ் மக்கள் குரல் விலை ரூபாய் 3 மட்டுமே. உங்கள் செய்தி விளம்பரங்களை தந்து நீங்கள் பயன்பெறுங்கள். உடனுக்குடன் செய்திகளை தெரிந்து கொள்ள மக்கள் குரல் .net இணையதளத்தில் இணைந்திருங்கள். உலக மக்களின் ஒருமித்த குரல் மக்கள் குரல் மக்கள் குரல்.
India by Indians and Indian doctors for Indian people. Many laughed. They laughed even on the day when the hospital was opened by the President of India. What have we done today? We have changed the entire health space and said we are part of the global health space, which is looking at giving the maximum health possibilities for patients here and patients from across the world who are coming to us. And I think this is the spirit which will take us to the future. Sangeeta beautifully put it, saying where our aspirations are, what will happen, what already has happened, and where the trigger is. Of course, Mr. Ramchandran was the person who said, we will combine together, we will bring everything together to make this all happen, so that together we will bring the various dimensions of making space medicine as a very vital thing in naturally living well, and people who are sick to make them get immediate attention. This is where I think that she said beautifully. I never thought that she is so fluent, but it was wonderful the way you put it, saying how we will move to the next step, where we are now and what we will do. I have no doubt, because as I said, when we thought of bringing this care to India, nobody believed, and we did beyond them. In medical technology, the first CT scan when we bought, the whole country criticized me. Are you crazy to spend so much money for one equipment? And today, how many CT scans are there? We got the first CT, first MRI, first PET CT, first Novalis, and now we're going to have a proton for 3 billion people. So this is because who have the desire, saying, we can do it, we can make a difference for people who are sick. But we are equally interested, as Sangeeta said, that several tools are available with us, and sensors, whatever you call them, keeps you saying, ticking and saying, you have not worked enough, or maybe you didn't sleep enough or slept too much. Most often, I think in most of us, it slept too much. So, and then you didn't walk, you didn't do proper exercises, and this food is no good for you. These are all wonderful things, coming up as sensors and warning us and keeping healthy. But most important thing is, in the transplants, I remember in the early 90s, I brought 200 kgs of material from US to bring the Transplant Act. Fortunately, in 94, when Honorable Prime Minister Narasimha was there, they called a session to impeach Mr. Seshan. They didn't have the majority. So I told that minister, why don't you pass this legislation? She said, let's go to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister immediately said, yes, I promised Dr. Reddy, get this through. That was in 1964. 94. But it took many, many years, because from saying, when is a patient dead? It was a very simple thing. I congratulate the secretary who defined it, saying, you all have got the tools, to tell when the patient is dead. Like ECG, do EEG, and repeat that after 6 hours, and if both are flat, the patient is dead, and authorize any doctor. I think that resolution which took place in Tamil Nadu gave the lead for all the country. Tamil Nadu has a long lead across several states across the country, because they brought that phenomenal transformation as to who patient is there. It's also helpful for the doctor, because there are sometimes patients are blaming us. They are unnecessarily keeping all the thing going. Your monitors are ticking, so the heart is ticking, and you put it on a ventilator, so they are breathing. But the patient was dead long time ago, and you are not unnecessarily charged. So I think this definition of death that took place 7 years ago, I made a big impact. We are happy that we're got wonderful. He has that vision, focus, that he can perform anything that can happen anywhere in the world. That's what they did. They did the renal transplant, they did the liver transplant, they did the heart transplant, heart-lung transplant, then pancreatic transplants, each one of it, and automatically we became world number one.
You sign on the right, I'm signing on the left. And then we you sign on the right. The date of
இந்த பக்கமா
அரசியல் சினிமா வர்த்தகம் எல்லாம் அழகாய் கொண்டு சேர்த்திட மெகா டிஜிட்டல் ஃபிளிக்ஸ் அண்ட் பேனர் திருமண விளம்பரம் ஓடிங் போர்டுகள் உடனடி பேனர்கள் செய்திட மெகா டிஜிட்டல் ஃபிளிக்ஸ் அண்ட் பேனர்
மெகா டிஜிட்டல் ஃபிளெக்ஸ் அண்ட் பேனர் மவுண்டோ அடையார் கோயம்பேடு மற்றும் திருவொற்றியூர். போன் 9440074666.